Hello, everybody. Just running a quick test, seeing if everything is set up correctly. Happy New Year. We'll get started here in just a second. Everything is set up correctly. Happy. Hello, everybody. Welcome and Happy New Year. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Okay, hello. GoTug, or GoTug, if I am mispronouncing your name, I apologize. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you with us. Ryan, Happy New Year to you as well, Ryan. I will get to your email soon. I decided to get back to emails tomorrow. I just kind of wanted to take a day off from that kind of stuff since it's the holiday. So welcome, everybody, and Happy New Year again. Let me get a couple of things situated here, and then we'll just get right on to it. So whether it's your first time here or you are a returning student, I would love to hear from you in the chat, but of course you don't have to. But you're always welcome to say hello, and I love to see new and returning names as always. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody been? Today we're going to do a Q&A. Basically, you're just going to ask me some questions. They can be music related. I even prefer them to be music related, obviously. And I'll answer any questions you may have. I don't really have a solid lesson planned for tonight, but I just wanted to get on to really say Happy New Year to the community, to you, the students, and thank you for a great year of teaching piano on YouTube. I really had a good year. I'm putting out some lessons that I think are, even better than the ones I put out last year, which is the goal, right? So I think they're even quite a bit better, but I plan on continuing it into the new year, maybe setting up some collaborations. Not maybe, I really really want to do that as well. And now I probably will have a little bit more time to do that. So just kind of telling you what's up for the new year. Oh, and you're new as well. Hello, fine, thanks. All right, excellent. Ryan is good. Okay, everybody. So one thing I want to tell you is that if you don't know, if you've been following me for a while on the YouTube channel and you like the lessons that I put out and you might have a little more time with the holiday, or you actually are making some time each week for your piano practice and you want to kind of take it a step further. Well, if you go to my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, I have a bunch of courses that I made. They're like the videos like you see on YouTube, but they come along with a bunch of other great things like printable sheet music, real sheet music to play. There's even like a little online tool where you can practice, some selections of music. Like once you complete some of the courses, you can learn some songs that are appropriate for that level of course, but only if you want to check it out. So pianolessonsontheweb.com. There's a little bit of there's a pretty good discount going on right now until January 4th. So I just wanted to tell you about that, but we will get on with today. And oops, I always use this with my students. So that was a note page from before. So let's see. First of all, I'm going to write happy, even though my handwriting isn't the best. New Year. Happy New Year. And this is, of course, a Q and A. So here's our Q&A, and Happy New Year, everybody. Let me plug in my tablet. Okay, so Ryan says, I gotta say the Academy is well worth it. It's great. Thank you for saying that, Ryan. And Ryan says, okay, Tim, first question. As you know, I'm in the early beginner stage, currently piano level 1, unit 1. Besides the assignments in the course, are there other things I should do at every practice sessions. Yeah, so let me think about this. Piano Level 1, Unit 1, besides the assignments. Yeah, if you want to start on the hand-in exercises, let me know if you need a link to that. You can get them free online. Maybe if you want some extra practice while you're doing those, I would practice maybe one hand-in exercise for every unit you do. It depends on how fast you go through the unit, but I would learn about one hand-in exercise every week. So if you go through a unit in a week, then, matching it up to each unit, is probably a decent idea. But I would learn at least one a week as you're going through the course, depending on, actually no matter how fast you go through. So if you're going through and it takes you 2.5 weeks to get through the whole course, and you still probably want to learn 3 hand-in courses in that time, or 3 hand-in exercises rather. So yeah, hand-in exercises is a really good one. Happy New Year, Daniel. Welcome to the live stream, as always. And Goktug is here, and he or she is new. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. And let's see here, Ryan. Back to Ryan's question. Scales as well. I mean, if you want to learn 1 octave scales for each key, and learn 1 a week. So if you want to do 1 scale and 1 hand-in exercise a week while you do playing the piano level 1, that's fine. By the time you get to playing the piano level 3, I actually, in that course, teach you how to play scales 2 octaves. So if you don't do the scales now, they will show up again, and that's really the course that we concentrate on scales the most. But if you want to learn them early, the 1 octave scales, that's preferable. Maybe do 1 scale extra and then 1 hand-in exercise a week until you've gone through all of them. Okay, let's see. Hey, Rich is here. Hey, Rich, how's it going? Ryan says, so like the hand-in web links, start at exercise 1 and work through? Yep, exactly. So start at 1, do 1. Practice that 1 for a week. It might not take you an entire week to learn 1, but you want to get, pretty decent at them. Something like that. I have like a little cut on my hand. So anyway, so you want to get them pretty good. You want your hands in sync. You want to be able to play them at a reasonable tempo. If you want an extra challenge, you can turn on a metronome and practice them that way. Let's see. Aradia, welcome to the live stream. I can play the piano only in some certain position. If I bend a bit closer or further from the keyboard, it gets a bit messy. I feel somewhat uncertain and start playing wrong keys. Is that okay? So let's see. If I bend a bit closer or further from the keyboard, it gets a bit messy. Yeah, so I would every time you practice, you want to get a reasonable distance between the keyboard. I recommend that, when you first pull up to the piano, the first few times, you'll get, used to exactly where you should be. I'd pull up all the way to the piano, and then obviously you don't want to be all the way pulled up. So you want to back away to where your feet are underneath the piano, and that your arms aren't like T-Rex arms, but they're out like comfortably. So I would actually sit in the chair, put out your arms, and wherever they comfortably sit, that's how far away your seat should be. So if you're too close, and it doesn't feel comfortable, and you feel like you're it's all hunched up in the shoulders here, that's not right. But also, if you're like a mummy and you have your hands way far away, that's not right either. So you want to start out with a comfortable, position, and then only start playing when you feel comfortable. It'll take some time to figure out that sweet spot, but you definitely want to, mess around with it a little bit until you find that. Okay, Ryan says, the first one I printed looks challenging for me right now. The first hand-in, that is. Okay, so you may want to wait until you get to playing the piano level 2. You could learn 1 octave scales, I think, by now. But you might have to wait until playing the piano level 2. But like I said, by the time you get to playing piano level 3, it'll be there. Okay, Ryan says, the first hand-in, that is. Okay. Yeah, so just go for the scales. And then he says, oh yes, position was another question. My left wrist gets really sore playing chords. Should I be too close? Yeah, you could be too close. Also, You could be using incorrect fingering. Let me make sure. Let me see what thing I have going on here. Just give me a second, everybody. So you want to do the everything here. And that's not even open. Hold on. There we go. In a couple of seconds, you should be able to see the piano keyboard. Then I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, Ryan, you want to be careful what finger you use for the chords. So if you're playing a normal triad, evenly spaced, you want to use 1, 3, 5 in almost every case, pretty much no matter where it is on the keyboard. If it's a first inversion chord, meaning that there's a larger space in the top, well, what it really means is the root or the name of the chord is on top. So this is a C chord. Now, when you play this one, you want to use 1, 3, 5 as well. However, when you do what's called second inversion, where you have a bigger space towards the bottom of the chord, you want to use the fingers 1, 2, and 5. So if you use 1, 3, and 5 there, it will feel uncomfortable. And a lot of the other chords, if you use another fingering, I mean, there are multiple fingerings you can use, but I would stick to the standard ones because those are usually the most comfortable. Yeah, 1, 2, 5. Yeah, if you use that for a triad, for me, it makes my hand a little too, like, my fingers a little too close to one another. Feels a little cramped. Okay, 1, 2, 5 is easier for me. 4 always gets in the way. Okay, so use what's comfortable for you. And then Rich says, is it correct to use fingers 1 and 4 on black note octaves? Okay, huh. If you feel like you can hit them better that way, they're actually not bad. I'm getting like used to it, but now your hand is probably larger than mine, Rich. I just assume that because most people's hands are larger than mine. I don't really have huge hands for a piano player, but for you, 1 and 4 might be more comfortable if your hand is larger than mine. For me, it's not bad. I mean, I can hit them reasonable accuracy. I find 1 and 5 a little better. I might be used to that. But yeah, no, 1 and 4 is fine. Great questions, everybody. Anybody else have a question? Oh, Aradia says, I've been playing the piano for 2.5 years now. That's the problem. I see other pianists literally dance on their seats, but if I move just a bit, I have to get used to this new position. Yeah, it takes time. Generally, you should be sitting in the same. Here's the thing: is if you're seeing pianists while they're playing, and like during a song, and then they get up and physically move on the keyboard, unless they're doing a duet or something, they're not supposed to do that. So here's the thing: is you want to sit centered on the keyboard. I basically, when I sit down thinking about it, middle C goes like right through the middle of my body. I know C actually isn't the direct middle of the piano, but that's generally where I put it. And then I can rest my hands comfortably in C position. But, let me see here. But if you wanted to play something further down the keyboard, right, it is hard, like keeping your body up and down, hard to play notes way down there. So what you want to do is actually you want to, instead of getting up physically on the seat, you want to pivot and bend that way, but still having your butt in the same place. You're not picking up and moving anywhere. So you can move up, you lean to the right, and then move down, you move to the left. Sorry, everybody. AVG will not disappear, but that's okay. Okay, oh, I see. Yep, so that's the way I would go about it. All right, so any other questions? Zach says, hello, Zach. Welcome to the live stream. You're always welcome to come back, by the way. Same with everybody tonight who is new. Zach says, hi, I'm 17, recently started playing piano. 76 keyboard. Okay, not bad. Since Christmas, I don't know what songs to learn, and I have been avoiding simple one key songs like Jingle Bells. Any input? Well, you don't want to avoid the simple things, right? So, things like Jingle Bells, if that's something you can manage right now, I would go for that. So, one of the things I've been talking about a lot recently, sorry about that if you can hear that, that's the fan, but one of the things recently I've been talking a lot about is working your way up to the songs you want to play, because a lot of piano players, when they first start, make the mistake of immediately jumping to the thing they absolutely want to play and are really hungry to play. A lot of the reward in learning the piano is working your way up to things, and then you feel more accomplished doing that. If you get everything too easy all at once, it's not quite as fun, in my opinion. It's not quite as rewarding. So if you overcome those challenges and you work your way up, I would do that. In terms of easy songs to learn, you might want to get a, what do they call those things? A piano lesson book. I don't know why that was so hard to remember. Let's see. And immediately, they have things like Alfred all-in-one book, lesson theory technique. That's not a bad book at all, like right off the bat. That book is great for a beginner. So that book will give you a lot of things to. You are 17, so I think that would be fine. Different online stuff I found. Tim's YouTube stuff. Okay, let's see. Do you have a list or a website where I can find songs to work my way up? So yeah, great question. So yeah, right here, if you choose to get this book on Amazon, if you don't have money or you just can't order off Amazon for whatever reason, or you can't find this book online, let's see what Ryan says. I was brand new and now I feel like I'm doing great. Okay, I started 2 months ago, and after about a week of trying 2-3 online stuff, I found Tim's YouTube stuff. That's another thing. So over on my website, I do have a lot of things that will help you work your way up. I have a bunch of courses I made over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com. And if you go there, you'll get, you'll learn about all the courses that I've made and how they can help you. Now, that's something for me. You can go with both, actually. You can get the lesson book and, sign up on my website. It's totally optional, of course. But those are just some options you have. Let me look something up really quick for you. And let me see if I agree. Well, yeah, I don't know about this. But some easy songs you might want to look up are like children's rhymes like Ba Ba Black Sheep, Mary Had a Little Lamb. I know it doesn't sound like the most exciting thing, but seriously, if you're just starting out, you do want to start with those kinds of songs, and then work your way up. It depends on what you're working your way up to, how far you will have to work. But if you start with really easy songs like that, unfortunately, those songs are harder and harder to find for free on the internet. But I would actually either go for my website or that book that I recommended. You can do a list. Like if you search for something online and you find something that might be good, message me on Facebook or here on YouTube, and I'll do my best to get back to you with some advice on whether that's good or not. I'm usually good at getting back to everybody, although I have some catching up to do for tomorrow. Yeah, Ryan says his academy is highly structured with exercises and songs. Highly recommend it. Yeah, so I have a lot of printable, like sheet music examples, assignments, and things that I've put together that will really lead you along all the way up until you need to go. I mean, I even have courses that are on a lot of the more advanced stuff. I still need to make some for the more advanced topics, but I do have them. So that it really is good for the beginner, taking you through the intermediate, and then through the advanced over on my website, which is in the description. Let's see here. Let's see. What lesson books do I recommend? I recommend the Alfred Adult Series. Now, I just kind of showed you one of them, but if you type in Alfred Adult, and you find, you can start with book 1, which is the pink one here. It's only like $6. They're like $6 a piece. And then book 2 is like this green one. Yep. And then book 3 is the blue one right here. Those 3, if you start out with those 3, I highly recommend those. I've used those with a lot of, old, like, they're perfect for, like, if you are anywhere from 16-ish to elderly. They're a great book to start with. And then Rich says another one, a great one, is Kenneth Baker, Omnibus book. Let's see here. Omnibus book. I can't even pronounce that. It's so awesome. Let's take a look here. Let's look this up that Rich is talking about. I've looked this up before during this stream. I still haven't ordered it though. Okay, I can't find it, Rich. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the complete piano player. So there are a lot of good, choices in terms of the different books you can get when you are, a beginning piano player. I love when Amazon lets you look at the first few pages. Hopefully they actually get to something like where the actual sheet music is. That would be nice. Oh, please. Okay, so they actually walk you through, like, lessons. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, and they do have some songs here. That's not bad for, like, an absolute beginner. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, hey, Tim. I didn't start to learn reading sheet music, but reading both bass and treble clef same time seems very hard to me. It's like reading a book while reading the first sentence and also reading the second and third sentence at the same time. And Rich says it perfectly. It gets easier, Tolga. And welcome back, Tolga, by the way. I thought my brain was going to explode when first beginning. So what you want to do is your first bunch, maybe your first 100 two-handed piano songs, you want to learn hands separate first. And then when you put your hands together, play it like way, 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 way slower than you would normally. And then slowly, as you can play it manageably, work up the tempo. And, every time you play it, well, so long as you can play it good. If it's starting to fall apart, you need to slow it back down. But if you can play it at a certain speed, just bump up the speed a tiny bit each time you play and see how fast you can eventually get it. But like I said, if you start messing it up, you need to slow it back down a little bit. Okay. Ryan says, I think I found it, like $22 on Amazon. Yep. I do have it in front of me. It's $20.80 for me. Maybe I got a deal on it. Yes, Tolga, I knew nothing about reading music, and after 2 months making sense, you'll get it. Tolga says, it makes me scared when I look at sheet music. Maybe I could be okay if piano would only have one clef, but 2 clefs at the same time, and lots of cymbals. So at first, I would ignore a lot of the cymbals. Like, don't get me wrong, eventually you want to add those in. But in terms of reading sheet music for the first time, 2 hands, totally forget about, the dynamics, which are the P's and the F's and the crescendo and things like that, and all the dots and everything. So just concentrate on basically playing, maybe one note in one hand, one note in another hand, or however many notes you need to do. If you find that it's impossible, you probably need to find something simpler to play. Like, there is some really easy stuff there where you have, like, whole notes in one hand and half notes in another. Okay, let's see. Ryan says, I use the whole note reading website exercise. The note reading exercise, it really helps. Very cool thing is musictheory.net. Yeah, so if you go to musictheory.net, like Ryan said, there's a cool little tool you can use. Now, this is probably best for playing hands separate, or learning your notes hands separate. It's still useful for this, though. Yeah, just I guess just note identification. They have a bunch of them. But you just kind of identify the note. You want to be really, really good at these. You want to get them like 100% every time. That will help like learning hands separate or learning the notes separately. But then, like I said, the key is really playing it as slow as it needs to go to be able to manage it two hands. Okay, Daniel. Wait. Rich says, yes, the symbols are learned little by little over time. Yes. Daniel says there is a topic on the adult one called harmonic second and third. He has this half note which has two heads, one facing up and one that faces to the right. How to play such. Okay. He has this one which has two heads. One facing left and up. Wait, left and down. And one that faces to the right. Oh, well, you can play. They're played the same way, Daniel. So, like, all that really is, I can't even replicate that. But you play the same way. It's played with the same. And actually, sometimes what he'll do, I don't know if, well, not just Alfred, but anybody, if there's a note that can be played by either hand, it will be written with the stem pointing up and the stem pointing down at the same time. So you can really choose which hand to play it with. Sometimes I know that happens. I'm not sure about this specific example though. Ryan says, I feel like I am trying the Academy lessons and 2 or 3 other lesson books, and then I'm overwhelming myself and not completely focusing on one thing. Well, if you feel overwhelmed, I would concentrate on the Academy, since books don't expire ever. So I would just work through the Academy stuff, and then if you are looking for an extra song to learn, because a lot of what you need to learn as a musician is in the Academy itself. By the way, by Academy I mean over on my website, if you don't know. And that has a lot of material to practice on its own. So I would work mostly through that stuff. And then just as an extra supplementary thing, Ryan, every once in a while crack open one of those books and try to learn one of the songs out of that book. And you can go between both, but I would focus mostly on the Academy material, just to, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed already. Let's see. So, the reading sheet music just working on learning and memorize the piece. I'm an instrumentalist who play by ear. I can figure out songs by ear. Doesn't it work like reading music? I'm not sure about your question. I think... Let's see. Oh, Aaron's here. Aaron, I have seen... Are you a member of the Academy, Aaron? I think you are. I know I've seen your name before. Recently as well. Tolga, so the reading sheet music just working for learning or memorizing the piece. Well, reading sheet music's useful. I'm not sure if this is the answer to your question. But reading sheet music is useful in that you can analyze music a lot better, in my opinion, if you can read the notes and kind of... It's great for visually seeing where notes go between one another and how they interact with one another. It's really useful for music theory as well. But in terms of actually memorizing the piece, I actually find it easier if I learn to read the sheet music for it first. That just makes it a little bit easier for me. Okay, wait. Hey, Tim, I'm great at playing piano and learning songs by ear, memorizing songs, but my sight reading sucks. Sometimes my ear is almost too good, and it's hard for me to focus on reading music. Oh, okay, so you have the same problem Tolga has. How can I quickly improve my sight reading abilities? I just joined. All right. So, how you can, first of all, there's something called Sight Reading Trainer that I'm making for the Academy. It's not out yet. However, if you go to the Academy website, there is a sight reading section. Now, I do need to put in a lot more examples for this. But really, the key to getting better at sight reading is by doing it every day and finding examples to play every day. So if you go here, let's see, and you go to, where is it? Is it under piano? Oh, it's on its own list. So sight reading, and then, you know, I'm going to put in my little thing there. So you log in, it says incorrect, I typed it wrong. Oh. There we go. There we go. So if you go to sight reading here, I believe, like I said, I really need to update this portion or this course. But they have videos on how to sight read, or I do rather. Really, I don't have the... Oh, no. Here you go. So, no, then it starts with level 1. So these already have examples for you. So I would practice through one of these examples every day until you learn them all. There's quite a few here on level 1. And then I would work through level 2. You know, there might be like 30 examples here in total. So this will lead you into playing, you know, and sight reading for about a month. But I would take the first few piano courses actually before you begin to sight read, unless you know a bit about piano already. But there is a sight reading course there on the website. I don't know if you've seen it yet. And then if you have gone through this and you're looking for more sight reading, let's see. I thought, Rich, remind me, did we ever get a good like sight reading? I don't know. Let's like a good sight reading link. Well, there's something called the Sight Reading Factory. You have to play for that though, or you have to pay for that though. Oh, there's this thing. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Let's see. I think this might be it. This might actually have good sight reading. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you go to belmont.edu/music/emissions/ oh my goodness, it's too long, everybody. So basically what I want you to do is if you type in sight reading piano sheet music into Google, sight reading piano sheet music. Actually, let me get the link for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the link on this other computer. Just give me a second. I'm not actually going anywhere. Wait, Ryan, to answer your question, I actually need to make this a little more clear, to tell you the truth. That's something I'm going to work on with the Academy, is like kind of making a flow chart on where people should go for the certain courses. It is mentioned somewhere, but I would start the sight reading after playing the piano level 3 is when I would start that one. I mean, you can do the level 1 sight reading probably after you finish playing the piano level 2, but you can start on those at playing the piano level 3. So let me take a look here. Sight reading piano sheet music. Here it is. Okay, I'm linking you to something really nice. So if you want some extra sight reading, you can go to this link that I sent you in the chat. And if you go there, you can, you know, there's an easy sight reading, like little printout thing they have, and then an intermediate and more advanced. So if you're looking for some more, you know, things to practice there, I'll link it over on the website when I get a chance as well. You know, check out that belmont.edu. All right, and how's everybody else doing? Everybody have a good New Year's? I didn't do anything for New Year's. Actually, I was kind of sick last night. I'm glad I'm not sick tonight, because then I can make the live stream. But I didn't really do anything at all except sit around sick. It was not fun, but I'm feeling better now. Oh, you're welcome, Aaron. Anytime. Anytime. Okay, Ryan says, yeah, I need to look around the academy a bit more, but a suggested itinerary, of course, path would be very helpful for me. Yeah, I agree. So I will do this very soon. I need to figure out where I can write it down. That I will. Let me write it down on a piece of paper here in front of my desk. That way I will see it. Oh, good, good. Ryan says he had a great New Year's Eve last night. Okay. All right, I'm just writing something down here. All right, Ryan, I'll get working on that very soon in the next couple of days. I do have some things to take care of over the next couple of days, but I'm pretty sure I'll get right on to that. Let's see. Okay, any other piano questions? I think, I'll stick around for a few more minutes, but I probably won't stick around for the full hour tonight. Great, thanks. Oh, you're welcome, Ryan, as always. Ryan says, I'm sure you have lots to do, so no rush. Yeah, that is very true. There is a lot to do for the website and for the, the YouTube and everything. Aaron says, I'm also trying to learn scales. Could you explain the difference between minor scales, harmonic minor, harmonic natural, etc.? So, Aaron, I'll tell you right now, but in the Academy, playing the piano level 3 has this information, but I'll give it to you here. So, a major scale, I'm not going to go into how to play every major scale, but a major scale has a happier, brighter sound to it in terms of its, how it sounds. Now, there's a formula to it. If you play the first note, and then, by the way, so half steps is moving up every single note on the piano. Whole steps rather, or whole tones as some people call them. Whole steps is when you move 2 half steps, right? Because it makes sense. And right here, there's a whole step there. So I'm just telling you that because you need to understand that for the next part. So if you play the note you're starting on, and you want to build any major scale, the formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and the last one is always half step. That's like if you start on C sharp, same thing. You play the first note, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Just like that. So it works the same kind of way. Minor scale, so there is natural minor, and so when you have a major scale, you're going to be lowering the third note, the sixth note, and the seventh note from where you were in major. So instead of playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, you're playing C, E, and then instead of E, you're playing E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. And that's natural minor. Harmonic minor is when you only lower the third note and the sixth note, but not the seventh note. The seventh note stays like that. It has kind of an Egyptian sound, a lot of people say, especially the top right there. And then a sadder quality as well. So major sounds happy, minor sounds sad. Just like that. Let's see. Okay. I'm also trying to learn scales. Okay, did that. Working on any original songs? Not recently, Rich. Not for a long time, actually. Did you see my question about the F and G with one stem, or you are answering me, Rich versus Tolga? Oops, answering. All right, let me check that out, Ryan. Okay, let's see here. Let me answer Ryan's question. Ryan, were you the question about Alfred? Or 1 second. Okay. Yeah, Rich, I was just going to ask, F and G are like back to back with one stem. That means play at the same time, correct? Let's see what Rich said. F, G. I think he means a note right next to each other. Oh, yeah. So you play, you play both of those names, or both of those letters at the same time. So yeah, if it was F and G, you'd play them like that. Okay, wait, here. Okay, I'm at a place where I don't have a piano. I'm dying. Oh no. Practicing is what keeps me sane. Okay, let's see. Is difficult pieces needs regular practice, or once you learn. Can you play any time? For example, can you play some of the Moonlight Sonata third movement right now without any practice? Not that movement. I could play the first movement because I've played that one recently. But to answer your question, they don't stay with you forever. So once you learn a song, now don't get me wrong, once you learn a song, it'll be much easier to relearn that song later. And once you learn a song, you probably will be able to hold on to it for a few months. But if you don't play it for a few months at all, then you will forget even basically how it starts. But here's the thing, is if I went back and practiced that third movement, I never really mastered that third movement, by the way, only the first one. I have played the third movement, but I'd have to practice that, and then it would like fall under my fingers a little bit. My brain, it would start to, I'd start to remember. But that's how that works, at least for me. Okay. Hi, I have. Okay. Hi, I have ambitions. Oh man, the chat is too fast. Hi, I have the ambitions to practice music. I'm studying your lessons and some books that I bought. Oh, real great. This is John Oldman. Okay. Hey, John. Great. Also, I want to enroll conservatory in musicology, but my ultimate disadvantage is I haven't taken lessons before, not in my childhood, I mean. Okay. So, if you're looking to get into a conservatory for musicology, you definitely do want to find a private lesson teacher that can probably meet with you once a week, if that's your goal. If you're really trying to get into a conservatory, you really want to have that feedback from a teacher that can give it to you regularly. If you're just trying to like learn some things, learning from, me is fine. And actually you can learn some more advanced things from me. But like I said, if you're trying to get into a conservatory, you really want somebody that can give you focus like right to the exact goals you want. So they can like say, okay, then we're going to research the conservatory you want, and these are the pieces you need to be able to do or you need to know about. And actually musicology is not my forte, I guess you could say. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I couldn't really help you as much in that area. But I would try to find some kind of teacher if you're able to. Okay, Aaron says, so when is harmonic natural scales applicable? Well, let's see. Well, that's a good question. Depends on the sound, really. Because the thing about a minor scale, or a natural minor scale, is it doesn't have what's called a leading tone. Now, what is a leading tone? Leading tone is the next to last note in any major scale. So if you play the major scale, the next to last note is a leading tone. And it leads you to the note, an octave above where you started on. It leads you to that end note there. And by definition, a leading tone has to only be a half step away from what we call the tonic, that note you start on. So what happens is in a natural minor scale, you don't have a leading tone at all. And it has a different sound to it. However, if you put in a leading tone in the harmonic minor scale, it not only changes the sound of the scale itself, but the chords you can use. So now instead of now this is getting too complicated, I think, for where you're at, but having this B here gives us a new chord we can use, a G major chord there. So it gives you a couple of chords, new chords you can use if you use the harmonic version. What is the melodic version? Is it? I know going up it's one way, and then going down it's a different way. I'll have to re-look that one up at some point because they know the natural minor and the harmonic minor very well because those are the ones they made us practice a lot. And then I know the melodic minor is like kind of a combination between a few of them. Okay. Rich says, first movement. Okay, here we go. Rich says, you play them at the same time, Ryan. Oh, let's see. Okay, Ryan says, but on the sheet music, F and G are like side by side versus stacked. Yep, so what happens is if you have, I can actually show you. I can show you this. So here we go. Here's how it works. Give me just a sec. Whatever, we'll do the Celesta. Okay. So, here you go, Ryan. You can have notes stacked on top of one another like we talked about. That wasn't what I drew. It's weird. Oh, I see why I did that. Okay, so here we have the notes F and A. Now, if I move this down, they move next to one another because if they didn't do that, they would actually like overlap and it would look like a weird blob. So they do that when they're still stacked like this, but it's just when they get really close next to each other, they kind of shift a little bit. Okay. I know that natural minor scales are the same notes as relative major scales, like the natural minor is the same notes as C. I know the natural minor scales are the same notes as the relative major scales. Okay. Not sure about natural minor scales. Oh, do you mean the melodic minor scale? Rich says you play them at the same time, Ryan. Yep. Ryan says, Tim, the house down the street is for sale. Consider moving to the Seattle area lately. Not too recently. Would love to have you as a neighbor, but I would probably never leave your house. Ryan says, okay, thanks, Rich. I thought, but just wanted to confirm. Thank you, sir. Geez, I like the sound of the piano. Something you make look so easy still sounds so beautiful. DJ OG West Coast says, what's up, dude? It's been a while since I've seen you, DJ. I'm pretty sure you've been in the live stream before a while ago. Margot, welcome, Margot, and everybody new tonight. Do you recommend learning to play the staff by breaking them up? Yes, I do, especially at first. So you want to learn right hand first and then left hand. Or the clef, yeah. The clef, yeah, by breaking them up. Do you recommend learning to play the clef? Yeah, so the two clefs, so you want to learn treble clef first and then bass clef, and then you want to learn to play them hands together very slowly, but you definitely want to master hands separate first. Rich says, did you ever post your performance video, Tim? No, not yet. I still have to do that. Okay, really good. Good to hear that, DJ. Let me get back to Margot Wortman, who says, do you recommend... Oh, wait, I already said that. Ryan Muma says, yes, that's what you was asking. I meant clef. Okay. Oops, I was asking. Can't type. I figured that's the reason, but wanted to confirm. Wasn't sure to play at next time or one quick. Yeah, so you do play at the same time. And then, yeah, DJ says, chillin', man, practicing harder songs. I can't speak tonight. Ryan says it must be hard to keep track of 5 to 6 conversations. Then by the time you finish the response, there are other comments about something else. Oh, it's okay. It works fine. That's why I say everybody's name first before I answer the question. All right, everybody. I think I'm gonna end it soon, so maybe in another 2 minutes or so. So maybe I'll take like another like one or two questions, and then we're gonna call it a night. I'm gonna say Happy New Year, and then all right. Well, I was actually gonna make the stupid joke that I'll see you next year in 2017, but it already is 2017, so I'll see you in a week. If Rich says no, don't leave. Name's Omar, by the way. Okay. Omar. Okay, nice to meet you, Omar. Always welcome back. You might have to remember, you might have to remind me what your name is every so often, only because I tend to call people by their like screen name. Oh, screen name is such an old word. By their moniker. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Will there ever be a mega 2-hour stream? Not today. Maybe someday. Someday. The only problem is I don't think I could find enough things to talk about for 2 hours. I mean, in terms of a planned lesson, I could do Q&A for 2 hours, but the problem is that there's a lot of talking involved, and actually at an hour of my voice, well, I have allergies as well, and it gets to be a little much. Probably at 2 hours, I could probably push it to an hour and a half, maybe. Here or there. Every once in a while, I've gone over an hour, but okay. Well, I will quit babbling and monopolizing this session. Good night, everyone, and hope all of you have a fantastic New Year. See you later. Daniel says, thanks for the clarification regarding the F and G written on next to one another. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Glad I could clarify that for you. Do you streaming regularly? If so, what days and hours? Really great question, Tolga. So, whatever time it is for you right now, 53 minutes ago is when we started. So for me, we started at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But whatever time it is for you, no matter where you are in the world, it was 53 minutes ago from right now. And we meet at that time on Fridays and Sundays. Almost every Friday and almost every Sunday. Every once in a while, I'll take a little bit of time off. But that's generally when we'll meet for our regular live streams. And the allergies are back right on time. But how long will it take to get to a high level of sight reading where I can play intermediate pieces by sight after a few quick practices? Happy New Year's, Tim. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Aaron. So well, like I said, I would learn one of those examples and practice sight reading every day. It might take you a few months of sight reading. It depends on your playing level. I can't give you a definitive answer. Maybe after 3 months of sight reading every day, you could probably play some pretty decent things. But in addition to that, in addition to just the sight reading, I would definitely be learning pieces, like actual piano pieces, where you spend a few weeks on them a piece, or you might even spend a few months on them a piece, to where you master them, and then you're don't get me wrong, sight reading is something you want to do every day, but you also want to be learning other pieces as well, that are more long term. Hurt says, I've been learning for 2 years and it's still hard. Yes, I was not good at 2 years in. Although I was a little kid, I started when I was 6, but I know a lot of adult learners 2 years in isn't that long of a time. So it does take time. You can't rush things. Now, don't get me wrong. You can put more effort into it, more focus, and more practice time. You will get more results generally with that, so long as you're practicing the right thing. But it definitely takes time. And then Rich says, but I am able to learn songs. Exactly. So you can still get some success. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't accomplish anything in the first few months. You definitely can. I know people who can play the entertainer within the first few months of their playing. I've actually had some students that were like stellar that could play it very soon after they started. All right, everybody. Let me see one thing here before we go. All right, great interaction tonight, everybody. I really am. Okay, wait a second. Aaron says my playing level is pretty high. I learn advanced songs by ear. Oh wow, or after memorizing. But the hardest part, but the reading part, yeah. And then you got to practice every day. So yeah, don't ignore the reading part. You want to make sure you make time to learn how to read music, which I think is what you're doing. So that's good. Man, my allergies are killing me right now. Let's see. DJ West Coast says 2 years goes by fast, and you'll have fun learning them. At least for me. Yeah, me too. Same thing with Rich as well. All right, everybody. Since I'm being attacked with allergies, I'm gonna do like a little outro, or just like a little chat with the wonderful classroom we had here tonight. So thank you for joining us. Whether it was your first time in the live stream or it's something you've been a part of for a while, like Rich has and Ryan has now, and quite a few others. Sorry, and even Omar has been in quite a few times, and Aaron is part of our new thing. And then Tolga, same here for me. Yep. Oh, great to hear that, guys. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And same thing with everybody. You're very welcome. Very welcome, Aradia. And thank you so much for being a part of this great community. You're always welcome back to the streams. Like I said, Fridays and Sundays, about an hour ago, for whatever time you're on right now, is when we start. So write it down if you want to. Also, I keep forgetting this. So, if you have a telephone, not a telephone, a cell phone, and you want a reminder, I actually have to set this up a little bit further, but it'll be ready by the next live stream. So if you text piano to 43506 on your phone, then you will get reminders of when the live streams are, like a half hour ahead or so. Oh, alrighty, yeah, 4:57 a.m. Yikes. So hopefully you can make a few of them. If not, you can always watch the recording, and then every once in a while I'll have a random impromptu live stream, so maybe you could catch that as well. Sorry it's so early for you. I should do more Skype calls. I know. I agree with that. Hold on a second. Yeah, Rich. So I think in the new year, I'm going to branch out a little bit. Obviously, because of some family business, I really haven't been able to do some of the extra things that I had planned. I mean, I'm still making good progress with the channel, but all those extra things like the collaborations and the Skype calls kind of just had to be put on hold for a little while, mainly because I didn't really have extra time to plan that kind of stuff. Oh, you're really welcome, Aradia. No problem. You're very welcome. So thanks a lot, everybody. I will have to go now, everybody. But we will talk again on Friday. And let me tell you what. So if you go to pianolessonsontheweb.com, as always, and you click on, there's a little community button, and there is a calendar. And next time we are talking about free resources to learn and practice piano. So these are free things you can find online, kind of like the sight reading thing we did today, where it's totally free, or the Hanon thing as well. There are exercises that you can find totally free. It's not a lesson about learning it all for free, but it is different resources you can get online. And it'll be a great community discussion, because I think there's a lot of you who know about websites that I might not know about. I mean, I probably do, but some of them I might not. So I think that'll be a really good one to share with you. So I just want to say thank you, by the way, for being a part of our community, our classroom, and I always love having you at the live sessions here. So everybody have a great week, and I'll talk to you next Friday. So have a good one. This is Tim from you know where, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rich.